We're going to fry the tempe first, followed by the brinjal. Kita goreng tempe dulu, lepas tu terung. Saya potong macam ni, tapi boleh potong macam mana yang kamu suka. Want to give a tip, whenever you buy tempe, put it in the freezer if you're not going to use it within a day or two. And if you take it out from the freezer and thaw it just a little bit and start cutting, you can get nicer clean cut pieces of tempe without it breaking up. Tempe kalau beli dan tak mau pakai terus, dalam satu hari ke dua terus masuk dalam freezer ya. Sebab bila kita keluarkan, jangan tunggu lama, dalam 5 minit itu kita boleh potong dan potongan dia akan cantik, dia tak pecah-pecah semua. Tapi kena taruh dalam peti ais lah. When it's a bit golden, remove it. Bila sudah macam keemasan sikit, keluarkan dia. Sekarang saya akan gunakan sedikit daripada minyak ni untuk membuat sambal goreng. I'm going to use a bit of this oil to start on the sambal goreng. You don't have to put a lot of oil. Fry the onions, goreng bawang merah yang dihiris dulu. The onions are golden, so you can put in the ginger garlic paste. Bila dah kekuningan sikit, boleh masukkan paste halia bawang putih. Sikit-sikit juga ya. Don't have to cook the ginger garlic paste too much. This chili paste you have to either chili or chili giling. You can use either one. I'm using chili for this. Add in about half a teaspoon of salt. Masukkan setengah sudu kecil garam. Masukkan sedikit air. To make it right, using a bit of water and stir fry and cook down the chili properly. Keep adding water until it's properly cooked. That is the important part. Kalau nak boleh tambah gula sikit ya. Kalau nak macam kuah yang lagi merah lah, manis gitu ya. Kalau perlu, sebab nanti nak pakai lepas ni oyster sauce. Oyster sauce pun kira manis sikit. You can use a bit of sugar for getting a nice red color, but then oyster sauce also I think contains some form of sweetener because it's quite sweet sometimes when you use the oyster sauce. And for vegetarians, go ahead and make this. Just use mushroom sauce. Oyster sauce that's made out of mushrooms. Call it mushroom sauce, I think. Okay, untuk sambal goreng ni, ada setengah orang dia suka pakai last sekali sedikit santan pekat. Itu pun boleh untuk resepi ni, tapi nanti tak maulah sebab nak buat kuah santan untuk makan dengan nasi, so nanti tak pakai. Tapi kalau mau boleh macam 1/2 sudu makan. You can actually use a bit of thick coconut milk at the end for sambal goreng. Most sambal goreng you can use that. It gives a very nice flavor. But then I'm going to have this with a santan based tomato gravy that I will show you after this. So I'm not going to use the santan there. Now goes the oyster sauce. Sekarang saya masukkan sos tiram. Okay, rasa-rasa dulu semua okey tak, garam semua, sebab terung saya belum bubur garam apa kan. I'm not going to add salt now. I've tasted it. You'll see at the end of it. masukkan terung dan tempe sekaligus. If you want this stage of it, you can do it in a non-stick wok. Okay, I'm going to add in the petai. Do not overcook the petai, then the color changes. And lastly, we will add in a squeeze of lime. Okay, jangan masak petai lama sangat, dia pakai sikit saja. Dan masukkan perahan limau ni paste last kali. Kalau nak pakai Maggi cukup rasa ke ajinomoto ke apa bolehlah, nanti tambah sikit lagi garam sebab ada tempe, ada tahu. Kira satu sudu dah tadi setengah kan, sekarang satu. I'm adding in another half a spoon of salt, so total 1 spoon. So see how it goes. If you want to use any seasoning, to me it's just like 1 spoon of fine salt. It's just nice. Okay, sekarang saya perah limau. Do not overcook the tempe. It's meant to be crunchy. You overcook it and the color is no more green and it's no more crunchy. Okay, it's done. I'm going to fish it out. Saya akan hidang Terung tempe. I'm going to make a tomato curry. It doesn't mean curry is always red and brown and hot. It can be white, it can be light yellow. They still call it a curry. And today what I'm going to do is a tomato curry. There's 2 ways of making this. I'm going to show you the lighter way because I'm going to have this with fried fish and sambal goreng. So I do not want a very thick gravy. I want something light. 3 tomatoes that's been cut into small wedges. Do not cut them into very big wedges. Try to get very ripe tomatoes for this. Put it in a pot, any pot. I have a clay pot, but you can use any pot you like. And then there's 1 large onion that's been cut to thick slices like this. I'm going to put the whole lot in. And what you also need is 1 green chili. Unfortunately, I do not have a green chili. My green chili has turned red. So you do try to get a green chili for yourself. I'm going to cut it into 2. This is a very easy dish you can make. It's not like sudi. It's quite different from sudi. Sudi has got other things in it like bendayam, which is fenugreek. In Malay they call it halba. Then the other thing that goes in is some curry leaves, about 1 sprig, and 2 garlic that I am going to cut small. And I forgot another thing. It's ginger. Just hold on. Just cut it small and put it in. A small piece like this will do. What you do is just shred it with your hand. You don't have to be very accurate and use a board. You can use a board. I'm just trying to minimize the washing up. And here is the other garlic which I have not cut up yet. That's all there is to it. And there's 2 versions of doing it. Another version is instead of using thick coconut milk, I want to use thick coconut milk because I want a light gravy. If you want a thicker gravy, what you do is you take a blender, a small one like this, if you have one like this, and only put about 1/3 full of scraped coconut. And the garlic that you put in just now, you can drop that with the coconut and just use minimum water and grind it, and that will go in. Instead of today I'm using just a santan, that would go in later. Now I've put in all this. Aunty telah ambil 3 tomato yang masak ya, dan potong wedges macam ni tapi nipis-nipis, jangan gemuk-gemuk sangat, dan masuk dalam satu bekas macam ni. Kalau tak ada clay pot tak apa, pakai periuk besi saja ya. Lepas tu masuk semua tu. 1 bawang besar aunty hiris tebal-tebal macam ni. Okey, masukkan. Lepas tu 1 cili hijau, slice 2, lepas tu slice lagi, jadi potong 4 lah. Aunty punya cili hijau dah tukar merah. Cuba dapatkan cili hijau besar ya. Lepas tu masukkan 2 bawang putih dan halia yang kecil sekali. Lepas tu kita potong-potong, masukkan dalam ni. Okey, dia memang senang nak buat, tapi ada 2 cara nak buat. Aunty nak pakai santan pekat sebab nak makan ni dengan sambal goreng kan, tak mau kuah ni pun, kari ni pun pekat tau. So saya buat cara ni, tapi ada orang yang ambil bekas macam ni, blender kecil macam ni, masukkan 1/3 kelapa parut dan 2 bawang putih tu masuk dalam ni. Secukup air lah untuk gerakkan mesin tu, jangan banyak-banyak. Lepas tu blend halus. Then bila ni dah masak, dia orang akan tuang yang ni lah. Tapi aunty nak buat cara yang lagi light, pakai santan kotak saja ya. Ada 2 cara lah boleh buat ni. Okay, semua dah masuk. Saya pakai garam kasar sikit ya. Lepas tu ini masak, ini banyak sangat. Okay, cukup lah. Ni masak atas api sederhana ke api kecil ya. Tapi hanya perlu masukkan air sikit-sikit saja. Asal tomato tu dah masak cukup. I'm putting in a bit of coarse salt. Do not use so much because liquid from the tomato will come out. Okay, just enough to cover the surface of all the ingredients here. Then we'll put this to boil. Once it boils, lower the heat and add in a little bit of thick coconut milk. That's the way I'm going to do it. But you have two other things to add in. A little bit of turmeric. Just a little. This is not like sodi, remember. Okay, a little bit of turmeric and a little bit of chili powder. So I'm going to use some Kashmiri chili powder here. Just a little bit. Not even to give it color. Just to give it some taste. Can you see? Like half a teaspoon or so. Saya masukkan lagi sedikit kunyit ya. Dan juga sedikit cili, Kashmiri cili, sebut cili apa-apa pun boleh, tapi sikit saja, macam 1/3. Ini cuma untuk macam bangkitkan rasa dia je, bukan untuk color ke apa, sebab ini kari putih ya. Okey, sekarang nanti akan masak ni api sederhana ke sederhana kecil. Nanti dah masukkan sedikit coffee mate ya, macam satu sudu makan ya. Dan satu trik saya beritahu, tapi nanti takkan buat lah, hari ni tak pakai lah. Ada orang yang akan menggunakan sedikit ajinomoto pada masa ni. Okay, tapi kita masak rumah saja untuk orang bisnes semua. Dia orang akan bubuh sedikit ajinomoto. Okay, I put in about a tablespoon of coffee mate to give it a thicker gravy, and also no adding salt or anything else after this. No lime, nothing, just this. Okay, the salt that I used earlier was just nice. Okay, once it starts boiling, I'll switch it off. Okay, this is tomato curry. My version, the actual version uses, like I said, ground coconut, thickly blended, fine blended, not using too much water. Okay, I'm going to switch it off. This is yummy tomato curry. Ini adalah kari tomato yang amat sedap ya. Cuba di rumah. Okay, nanti ada 4 ekor ikan kembung ya, bukan saiz besar, saiz sederhana saja ya. Kita akan goreng. Ini ada 1 sudu kecil garam halus dan 1 sudu kecil serbuk kunyit dan setengah sudu kecil serbuk cili ya. Itu saja. Kita perap, mungkin perlu renjis sedikit air. Kita perap 10 minit, kemudian goreng. Goreng api sederhana, panas, lepas tu kurangkan sikit ya. Dan minyak ni tak perlu buang, boleh tapis dan simpan. Boleh digunakan untuk kali kedua goreng ikan macam ni, ataupun ikan apa-apalah. I've made slits on both sides of the fish ya. I've put in here 1 teaspoon of turmeric powder, 1 teaspoon of fine salt, 1.5 teaspoon of chili powder. That's all. It's a simple deep fry. I'm waiting for the oil to be a little smoky. And I would put the fish in. Tunggu sampai minyak ada asap-asap sikit ya, sikit. Lepas tu masukkan ikan. Minyak kena panas, kalau tak dia akan melekat. The oil has to be hot, otherwise the fish will tend to stick unless you use a non-stick. After about 2 minutes, flip it over to the other side. Lepas 2 minit, kita balikkan dia ya. After 2 minutes, flip it over. Lepas 2 minit, kita balikkan dia ya. Lagi 2 minit, kita keluarkan. Masuk lagi 2. Nanti family 4 orang saja, so 4 lah. Ini ikan kembung kira RM1.30 satu ekor. Nanti dah calculate tadi. Four pieces of fried kembung. 4 ekor ikan kembung goreng.